The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
It's 2019, baby.
All the hits. One station.
Bringing you the best mix of the best music.
Nothing but the baddest and best music.
Broadcasting worldwide.
One hit at a time.
Music.
Online.
One station. Hit music. All the hits.
24/7 around the world. Non-stop. This is Crossway.
The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, a musical talk show with in-studio guest performers and interesting program features, anchored by the man with many titles: musician, producer, actor, director, YouTuber, filmmaker. Well, the list is long because he's the man and more. So friends, Canadians, ladies and gentlemen, your Sunday midday fun starts here. Welcome to the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to this week's episode of the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. This is episode 48. I'm 80% sure. Episode 48, and once again, I'm here, but Regine is not here, which is why I'm not able to check what episode it is, because Regine couldn't make it. Regine is our co-host, who's usually here, but she actually wasn't here because last night she competed in the Canada Galaxy pageant, and she competed, and I am proud to announce, ladies and gentlemen, I'm wearing my Team Regine shirt today. And I'm proud to announce she won. Our co-host, Regina Elena, the one and only, is the reigning Miss Canada Galaxy 2019, I believe it would be. Although she'll have to tell us. Anyway, when we speak to her next, she'll be able to fill us in on how it all went down. I was not able to attend the pageant last night because I had tickets to the Toronto Argos game. And that was a terrible thing to watch. The Argos got destroyed. So I think in that case, I would have preferred to have been supporting Regine. But we're out here at the show. We're very proud of her. Regine, good job. Congratulations once again. And, it's going to be a great year of you reigning. And we'll put the Mario hat away here on display, and we'll put your crown on top of the football for that. But let's start the show, and of course we can't start the show without thanking some very important people, which of course are our executive producers. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode of the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by our two executive producers. Do you want to find out what your home is really worth? Are you buying or selling a home? Then Jennifer C., Realtor at Home Life Culture Link, is here to help. Call or text Jennifer today at 647-403-8887. Don't deal with just anyone. Speak to a professional. Jennifer C. at Home Life Culture Link. To see your current listings, visit homelifeculturelink.com. The Mortgage Godfather is here to give you advice with any mortgage needs you may have, and he will shop to find you the best mortgage. Nino Saimeka, mortgage agent. He'll give you an offer you can't refuse. Find out more at mortgagegodfather.ca or call 905-604-6955. Thank you very much. And if you would like to be an advertiser on our show, please get in touch at radioshowad@gmail.com. because we'll set you up with a fantastic advertising plan. We read the ads live every week, which means you can personalize them week to week. If you have a special event or some sale or something that's happening right in real time, you can let us know, and we can update the ads every week. It's a very personalized audience and a relationship you can build with your potential customers. So get in touch, radioshowad@gmail.com. And so now we're here, back at the show, and we have a guest here in studio. He's a very, very talented musician, multi-instrumentalist, singer, years of experience, touring the world, and also right here. He's in studio as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, Kierscey.
Hey, What's going on? What's going on, Scott?
Not much. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So you're very busy.
I find this year was a hot summer, you know what I mean? That's what they call it. Like I said, like with music, it comes in seasons, but I was fortunate this year to be able to be blessed with a lot of big opportunities, you know, messing with some heavy hitters.
Yep.
And it just, I don't know, it came out of like a lot of opportunities just fell on me to do it. And when the opportunity came, I just went for it. And apparently, you know, I did well because they keep calling me back.
Yeah.
And I just figured I'll just keep going until I burn out. That's
Nice.
all you can do, just do your best. But like, hopefully you don't, you know. And
Yep.
lots of things to keep you going. And I'm just looking for those things constantly. And that's what it's about right now, you know.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's a huge part of it, right? Is when those opportunities come, you have to be, you know, opportunities can come across your table, and that's the luck part. But you have to be ready to take that opportunity when it comes, right?
That's right. That's right, man.
And you've been ready.
Yeah, so far, like, I practice a lot, man. Not as much these days anymore, but back in the day, I remember when I was waiting for this moment, I would spend a lot of hours just, like, practicing and not even knowing the reason why. But when the opportunities come, it's never like you have a lot of time to put something together.
Yeah.
It just comes, and then you're in it. And then,
Yeah.
you know, there's money on the line, there's people that are taking time off to like work with you. It's a lot of pressure, but then at the same time, it makes you really excited because not a lot of people get those opportunities, and you know you gotta just show up at the right time. That's what I've been doing. I've been lucky, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you had a show you were performing last night as well, right?
Yeah, just yesterday. Funny enough, I got the gig like maybe a week ago. I posted on my IG that on Thursday night I was learning 16 new songs for this guy named Emmanuel Zhao, and we rocked the show at the Al Green Theater last night. I'm impressed with myself because I haven't learned that many songs in a long time, and it was neat because lately I've been directing gigs for people, and this one was not a musical director gig. It was just strictly on the playing, and it was a whole different it's a whole different genre of music that I've been used to lately, and I was just able to adapt myself to that situation. And yeah, we just rocked it last night. We didn't know what to expect, but people showed up and we just did our thing, you know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it was a late night.
Yes. And also like on just like personal stuff, my family from LA is here. After the show, we had a surprise birthday for our auntie.
Nice.
And she came through. I didn't actually get to go to the party, but I showed up like after the gig, just to make time with them. You know, that's how you are able to make time with family these days. I find you're just so busy, but you just go the extra. Like, what is it? Like 12:30 a.m. All right, let's go meet up. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. So
Yeah, that's the other thing about
do that.
Yeah, that's the other thing about working as an artist. The hours are often not what other people's hours are, and they're also unpredictable, right?
Yeah, that's right. Like Saturday is like Monday for me, or even Friday is kind of like Monday for artists.
Yeah.
That's when the shows happen, but every other day before that, I swear you're just preparing for the weekend, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, and also like other people, regular jobs, they look forward to the weekend because that's their time
Right.
off. But oftentimes
Yeah.
the weekends are when artists tend to do a lot of their work. So.
That's right. That's right.
So you said you've been doing a lot more of directing lately?
Yeah. I've been a musical director for K9, I want to say for like 4 or 5 years, professionally now. Before that, I was maybe just playing keys for him, but maybe I'm doing the directing now because I know his music. I really know it well. And from that one gig, like this summer, we've been touring across Canada, playing the festivals and been killing it. We opened for like Wu-Tang and Snoop Dogg out in Ottawa Blues Fest. They're all like really big shows.
Wow.
So after that, I just been posting stuff about that, and other artists have been coming to me to direct shows for them. I don't know if you remember from back in the day, August Rigo. August Rigo came to me. I saw him in LA last year, and he came to me to direct the show. We played Taste of Manila, and that went really well. The latest directing gig I did was for this guy named The Living, who's from Surrey, BC, actually really from London. But interesting about that was I was just supposed to play that day, and the director couldn't show up. So then they asked me if I could he kind of just like, okay, yeah, so I'm gonna just let you musical direct this one. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just went in with that, and it was successful. So I find I shine in directing for sure.
That's awesome. I didn't know you were doing a lot of directing, because I knew you as a performer. So how did you find, because that's a very different skill set, going from just the performer on the stage to directing the show. Was that something you've always wanted to do, or did you end up how did that happen?
I guess like maybe the first gig where I got it was with Kanon. I remember a lot of people go in and out of the band. I was just one guy that was always in the band from day one, even the days when we weren't getting paid. And I just know all the music, and the old director at the time, this is maybe 6 years ago, they had something go on, and then he left, and then there was me. They had to find a director like right then and there. I think because I always helped put the sets together, and I knew the guys and I knew the music that well. They were like, it just slowly they were creeping the job on me. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my god, like I'm actually putting the set together, and I'm leading the band, and in the beginning, they weren't really paying me for that, but I was just doing it. And then when it got back to it, I think my manager, Lydia, at the time was saying, you guys need to start paying Kierscey as a director, because that's what he's doing for you guys, So ever since that happened, I just take it like maybe 10 times more seriously, because the pressure's on now. And, this thing's on the line now, but I really appreciate the opportunity. So how could I not do it at the same time,
And then you found yourself as a director, and now you're finding other director gigs are coming your way as well, right?
Yeah, like people need directors, man. There's a lot of times when artists can't find the time to rehearse or put the band together, and it's actually a really big job. Like I didn't think it was. There was more to it, but just with the pressure and like all the planning and the production of it, it takes a lot of work to direct. Yeah,
I bet a lot of people listening probably don't even know about that part of it.
I get a couple of those. Yeah, like some people come up to me, they never heard of a musical director, but every band has one. Every really big band has one, and it's basically what keeps the band together and brings the show to a level up, and people don't even know it's coming from a guy that is working the whole strategy right there,
So you make the plans sort of the overarching flow of the whole show. I guess,
right. Yeah. I can tell you right now in the basics, it's just that if they hire you to direct, first off, the main three things I'd say is like you find the players, you put the set list together, you like rehearse them and lead them, and you lead them for the show. You're basically managing the band. You're basically managing the band like alone, and the artist is just like trusting you, and you're always with the artist, and he's always like coming to you for advice on how to make the show level up.
Awesome. So what's it like working with Kanon?
He's great, actually. I gotta say, he's kind of hard to musically direct for, only because, he says it, is that, like, if the show is not honest, then he can't do it, you know what I mean? I remember when I first started with him, I rehearsed the band, and we would put the set list together, and it was perfect in my eyes, It was like, start with a bang, end with a bang, middle stuff you do, like, the new stuff where you try some stuff out.
Yep.
And then it was a rockin' show, and I remember he was in a situation at the time, halfway through the tour, and he was just like, you know what? I don't feel like coming out and rocking with you. I want to play the show, but I'm just not in that mood to rock out in the beginning.
I see.
And I was like, okay. And he's like, how I'm feeling today is this. Like, I just want to like talk to them or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. But the thing is, he felt a different way every day. So I wrote a new set list like every day for him based on like, okay, so how are you feeling today? And he's like, oh, well, yeah, you know, I feel like being this today. And I was like, okay, and I'll write the set list, and he'll mostly be like, nah, man. Like maybe like half an hour before the show. So I would just be like, okay, and then we'd be writing this new set list, even like saying like, I feel like doing a new song today. And I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna try that then, and we'll just go for it. You know what I mean? But it always turned out well because like we trusted each other.
Yeah,
and that's how. Even though as frustrating as it was to put the show together, it was like we always killed it. So that's how you know you're just dope.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So it makes sense. So Canon, he's the type of guy where he doesn't, yeah, like you said, he doesn't want to fake it. So like, and it makes sense. It's like, there's one thing, it's like, yeah, you know, you have to come out with a bang and go, act happy and get the crowd out of it. But maybe if you're not in that mindset.
Right,
you know,
right.
So that's interesting.
I'd say it's one of the things that's changing in directing. Like, I think that's the safe formula is how I told you, you know, start with a bang, end with a bang. But
yeah,
I'm finding other ways people are doing it now. And there's all kinds of ways you can take the crowd on a ride, man. You know, it doesn't have to be like your hottest fire track in the beginning. It could just be a really good track that just mesmerizes people as well. So it you know, that whole thing of learning that with Kanon, it's like I feel like I'm learning how to work with artists a lot better just based on who they are and where they are like in their artistry and work with that, you know. So
cool. Do you find once you've written the set list, does it change during the show as well? Like, will he yell out something like, "Oh
yeah, man!" Like the most surprises. It's never as planned for sure.
Cool.
It's never as planned.
And you just roll with it.
Just roll with it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Man, for sure.
Very cool.
For sure.
All right, let's do. We're gonna take a quick break and then let's come back because I want to talk about your music afterwards.
All right, nice.
All right, let's do that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. All right, so let me just get some ads music to play.
Do you think, bro?
Here we go. That segment of the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown was brought to you by Jewelry Forever. Conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East Markham. They do custom-made jewelry, repairs, and they change watch batteries, all done on site. Or, if you're the type of person who doesn't want to go outside, maybe you don't like to wear pants, you can shop online at jewelryforever.ca where you can get free shipping with any orders of $149 or more. Jewelry Forever. Tell them Scott and Regine sent ya. And it was brought to you by the Canada's Top Choice Council, a nonprofit organization that presents fantastic events all across the year. They just recently had their Canada's Top Choice pageant, and they've got the Canada's Top Choice Give Back fundraising concert coming up later in early 2020. So find out about them at Canada's Top Choice on Facebook at facebook.com/Canada's Top Choice. And they're a wonderful organization. So once again, if you want to get in touch and advertise, reach us at radioshowad@gmail.com and we can advertise. But in the meantime, we're back with Kierscey. Where's your mic? There you are. There you are. You're back, right?
What's up?
There you are.
Phone check. Yeah.
So we just talked about all the work you've been doing with a lot of other artists. But again, we mentioned off the top, you yourself are an artist.
Yes, sir.
And you've recently come out with you got some new music coming.
Yeah, man. I'm working on this album. It's going to drop on November 2nd, and I dropped the first single off of it. It's called Skirt Skirt, which is like, it's a funny name, you know. Whenever I tell people my album titles, I love that they laugh now because back in the day, I used to write songs that were very just like, oh, I want to hold your hand, or like, you know, just the girl tracks, but properly articulated, politely articulated. But these days now, I find that it's kind of our job as artists to where in seconds you can like really make an impression. And I love that people are now laughing or going, oh, or they're shocked in a way. And it's like it's like I'm doing my job now. I'm like stopping people to look at me, you know?
So do you think that's something that's maybe changed about your perspective of how you look at creating music?
Most definitely. And it's just like, I feel like it's my personality as well. You know what I mean? I feel like the music today that I'm making, it's more me for real, like who I am on the inside more than ever now. It's just not like to please anybody else, and the only thing holding me back is myself.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we want to play something?
Yeah, sure.
So what are we listening to?
Yeah. So this first track here is a song produced and written by me, performed by me. That sounds so cocky, man. But this is
what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. And, this is "Skirt Skirt" by your boy Kierscey.
Cool. All right. Take it away.
All right, here we go.
Girl, you know I wanna ride when you wear that skirt, skirt, yeah. Girl, you know I wanna ride when you wear that skirt, skirt. Yeah, you know I wanna ride it when you wear that skirt, skirt. Skirt, baby. Yeah, you know I wanna ride it when you wear that skirt, skirt. Skirt, baby. Some good pudding, got some good pudding, pretty baby. Whip it with that cherry too. You're a walking work of art. Know a lot of that talk goes stars. Recognize a real one with a charm for ya. Whenever you pull out like that, gotta pull my shirt over my pants. Get a rise to the morning light. Girl, you know me, wanna ride it when you rock that skirt, skirt, yeah. Skirt, skirt, yeah, 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 yeah. Skirt, 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 skirt. Oh, skirt, 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 yeah. Did you man on my baby? Let me get this shit straight. I got 69 ways to get that skirt in my face. Hope you like it and chase, so I'll chase you all day with that skirt on your baby, skate on your baby. Come and ride the boat like a Leah for me, baby. I'm so into you, like to me and my baby. I'm about to boo you up like Ella, so hard like Rihanna. Yeah, 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 baby. Girl, you know I wanna ride when you wear that skirt, skirt, yeah. Skirt, baby, yeah. Girl, you know I wanna ride when you wear that skirt, skirt. Skirt, baby, yeah, yeah. Girl, you know me, wanna ride it when you rock that skirt, skirt, yeah, yeah. Girl, you know me, wanna ride it when you rock that skirt, skirt, yeah, 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 yeah. Skirt, skirt my way, baby. Every single night and every single day, I wanna chase you, girl. Skirt, skirt round my way. Every single night and every single day, I'm gonna chase you, girl. Would you skirt, skirt round my way? Woo! Skirt, baby. Woo! Oh, skirt, baby. Every single night and every single
That was Skirt Skirt by Kierscey. Awesome track.
Even I laugh at when I know that's my title. Yeah, Skirt Skirt by your boy Kierscey. That's like maybe one of the newer tunes I've done. Totally different from what it was back in the day. I said this on an interview not too long ago, but I was saying I think back in the day I was on a very Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it's just like today there's so many terms, there's so many like trap terms. I think Skirt Skirt is one of the biggest ones out there, but there's not a lot of Skirt Skirt tracks that are about, girl, you look fine in that skirt.
Yeah.
and I'm really impressed with my use of the word pudding in the song. I don't think a lot of people use the word pudding. But yeah, it could mean so many things, man.
Well, it sounded awesome.
Thanks a lot, man.
So that's fully produced. Like that's all you.
Yes, that's all me. Actually, I should mention that it was mixed by my boy Julian Fat Sound. Cool. I'm still learning how to mix. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like some people just got all the toys that'll turn it up properly. So I leave that to them, man. But yeah, I played all that. I sang all that. I wrote all that, and it's all me. It's all me right now.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's released. That one's out now. People can.
That one's out on Spotify, all major platforms. Go grab it. Right now, it's the name Kierscey Rand, okay. But I just changed it to Kierscey recently. If you can't spell that, I know that's impossible, but it's Kierscey. Follow at Kierscey on IG, Facebook, whatever you want to connect with. It's all good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I should mention the album art or the artwork for that song.
Oh snap! Yeah, man.
It's pretty cool. It's like who designed that? Did you design that or?
Yeah, that's our fam. That's our cousin Kevin from I think he's in Texas now.
Cool.
Yeah, man. He's a cartoonist. He's just really good at cartoons, man. And he actually did the artwork for my new album that's coming out. The new album's called Breaking Beds.
Nice.
And I think you'll dig that cover as well, man. I love his style. I love the colors of it. It's just reminiscent of like a 90s kind of color palette.
Yep.
And even the sketch is kind of like a 90s, like a cleaner sketch of like a graffiti or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But yeah, it's just dope because it is so sensual in a way, and it's some almost close to nudity on it, but because it's a cartoon, like it's a little more acceptable in a way, you know? Yeah.
Awesome. So grab it now on Spotify.
Yeah.
And check it out and watch it. November 2nd, they said the album's coming out, right?
Yes, sir.
So what's the plan? Are you gonna, when it comes out, are you gonna tour with it, or what's your plan?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll be playing some shows. It's really just to get a start for me to show the people what I can do. Mm-hmm. I would really like to play some shows, but right now that's not in the plans. Right now I'm just in the production process of it, just getting it done and like getting it out there. And I don't know, like I really would be happy with just being a songwriter for other people and to keep working in the studio with the artists I've been working with. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would be happy to just do that the whole time and not show my face or nothing. But I think sometimes you got to do it yourself just to show people what you can do. And
well, I mean,
that's what this is about.
You've got a really good voice.
Thanks, man.
Right?
Appreciate that.
I think it's good to see what you mean. It's like, especially now if you're doing a lot of directing or you're doing a lot of playing with other artists,
mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's good to step and be like, just so you guys know, I can do this too.
Yeah, I did that last night. Like when I was just a keyboard player, I was doing that all night. I was just like, hey, so yeah, did you see the show? Yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, I also sing and like I can rock a show if you need me,
Yeah.
And I did that. I've been doing that a whole bunch like lately. It's a good skill to have for sure.
Definitely. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember if I'm remembering wrong. You play guitar.
Yes.
But you play it differently than I think most people do, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm remembering.
Wow.
So we went to high school together.
That's
so
right.
Don't know that.
That's right.
But I still remember. Yeah. So you because you play left-handed guitar.
So it's like I play left-handed position,
Yep.
but I play a right-handed guitar turned upside down.
Yeah.
So the neck is on my left hand, and I'm strumming. No, sorry, the neck is on my right hand, and I'm strumming with my left. But the strings are inverted. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I just read the charts that way, and I was comfortable with it when I was a kid. My dad said, "Don't change that because it's like starting over again." You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I still remember that from high school. I was blown away when I saw that. 'Cause
Thanks, yeah.
So people who don't understand, so most guitar players I think are right-handed guitar,
correct.
right? So you've got your strings, the biggest string is at the top, and it goes to the smallest string going down. If you were to play a left-handed guitar, most times the left-handed guitar is strung in reverse. So you've still got the big string on the top and it goes down.
Right.
But I guess when you were learning guitar, he learned on a right-handed guitar, but he's left-handed. So he basically plays the guitar, I guess, upside down. And it just looks, as a guitarist who watches him do it, it looks really weird to my eyes because I can't figure out what he's playing. But I guess that's the thing, if you learn it that way, it's like, it's totally normal for you, right? Because that's just how you learned all the chords.
Yeah, man. It's just like exactly just a regular day with me and the guitar. But another reason I never changed it is because of that look on your face when other guitar players notice that. They're just like, whoa, it's something they've never seen before. You know what I mean? I don't even know who does it, like who in real life does it. I think maybe Jimi Hendrix did it.
I know that Jimmy was a left-handed guitarist.
Right.
And he played a right-handed guitar, but I don't know if he kept the strings reversed.
See, that's crazy. I thought he might have been like the one guy that did it, or maybe Paul McCartney. But I feel like I heard things about Paul McCartney as well, that it's the correct string position. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's cool. It's like I should play guitar really more often. It's like my second or third instrument.
Yeah.
But I like to play piano the most. You know.
The keyboard, I guess, is more. You can. Well, one, you can have more different sounds, but I think it's a wider range, right? You can
definitely
fill more space with it. And
yeah, I think even just like my personality matches a piano maybe better, man.
Yeah.
I'm a very in the pocket guy, and there's like smoothness to it, but there's like ways you can there's so many ways you can use it, and yeah, I don't know. It'll always be my first instrument.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think you might be I don't know. As far as I know, you're the only person I've ever met or heard of who plays a guitar like that.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So,
yeah.
Told you it sticks up. I remember another memory I remember from high school. One time I was in the lobby. I had my guitar there, and I think I was playing something from like Coldplay.
Okay.
And Coldplay, especially their earlier stuff, there's a lot of falsetto in there, right?
Definitely.
And I remember I was singing one of their songs, and I remember you kind of walked by and you're like, "Oh wait, hang on," and you kind of came in and you just started harmonizing with me.
Oh snap!
And there's this one moment like where we were both doing. I can't remember what song it was, but it was one of the ones like the. Oh, you know what it was? It was the you.
Yes.
That song.
Wow!
And you came in and you dropped in the And that's something I always remember from back then. It was just
awesome, man.
funny memory that sticks around.
That's like blurry back there. Like I don't really remember that. But like, yeah, that sounds totally what I would do. I love like when I'm in the car to just harmonize like the singer that's singing on the radio or whatever. That's one of I love harmony, man. I find lots of that on the album. Trust me. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Awesome.
So have you always wanted to be a musician? Like I know you have
Definitely.
been playing for many years. Yeah, it was always your long-term goal.
Definitely, yeah. But I think like just the just like some advice for anyone that wants to do music is that it never goes as planned. And if you want to be a musician, there's some ups, but like just be prepared for the downs, because like there's definitely seasons of when you're succeeding and definitely seasons of when you're trying to figure it out. But there's a lot of those like down seasons that you gotta like really just persevere and like try not to change your attitude so much that just don't let your attitude suck, man, because there's so much to be grateful for. But that's another thing I love about being a musician is that it builds your character. You might be praying a lot because there's so much risk and it gets really deep, man. You know what I mean? But when you do succeed, it is seriously like a release. It is seriously like a high that can't be matched by anything else, and that's what I live for. It's just that high from doing something I said I would do and then achieving it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of artists, even not just music, I think anybody who chooses sort of to chase that career in the arts, you have to get comfortable with that, the insecurity part though.
Say word. Yeah, we all have that voice that's like inside doubt in yourself, but like you can't listen to it. You can't listen to it, man. You got to let it all go. And one thing I love about the stage is that that's all that matters. Like you have no choice but to let it go. You know, there's all this pressure you're feeling right before, and I'm sure I see it in artists all the time, man. Like even the biggest names, I see them right before stage, and they're like second guessing themselves and stuff, and I'm just like, yo, like, you got this. What's wrong with you? And then we go out there and kill it. I'd be like, okay, it was just like the calm before the storm, or it was just what you needed to make that great moment even better, because, like, why was I doubting myself? You know what I mean? It's a great feeling.
Well, I think that feeling, I don't know if it ever goes away. In fact, I think it's probably, I think because if you're nervous before you go on, it means that you care about it, right? It means that it's important to you. I mean, if you get to a point where you don't feel anything anymore, then you got to wonder, you know, why are you doing it?
Yeah, man. Artists are sensitive about their ish, man. You know, and it's because when you're writing and when you're giving something so personal, you can't you got to be thinking about what other people must be thinking all the time, man. You know, but it is very personal to me for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I especially find there's that moment if I've written something. And there's always that vulnerable moment for people listening. If you have any artist friends and say they made a song or something, and they're ask you if you want to listen to it, you should just listen to the whole song, right? And because it's a very if that artist is choosing to share something with you, it's an incredibly here is my heart.
Yes.
Please don't.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, and it's funny how many people need to say something about it, and I'm cool with silence even in regular life. I'm cool with it, and it's just. But sometimes I don't really like when people talk while they hear something oh, you sound like Bruno Mars or Chris Brown or something. And, it's cool. I'm just listening. I'm trying to get you to listen because there's lots of little things I'm throwing in the song that I don't want you to miss or whatever. But I do appreciate it. I really appreciate that people are saying something about it. You know what I mean? But I say the same thing. Wait till after the song to say something to them. You know, they'll appreciate that.
Exactly. Yeah, same thing. I made a short film last year.
Nice.
And I remember it's that same thing. When I finally was okay, this movie's at a certain point where I screened it for friends and family, right? And but again, it's so nerve-wracking that moment, sitting there in the room with them, and they're watching the movie, but I'm just watching them.
Oh snap! How long was the film, if you don't mind me asking?
So, in fact, that's one thing that was cool. So it was a short film. The original length was about 22 minutes. Okay. But after screening it for friends and family and a few people, one thing that was good for me was I was able to see there were some parts where I'm oh, it's kind of the energy's down or I'm losing them. So the final edit was only about 18 minutes. So it's a full 4 minutes got cut out of it.
Crazy.
Just because of people, reading their reactions.
Yeah.
So it's
part of it. But it's interesting because even in that 4 minutes, if it's a person especially that's really important to me and I want to hear it, my heart is kind of beating in that 4 minutes, man. And I can only imagine for a whole movie or something that must be it must be really intense.
Yeah, it's I mean, I find it's with film, I guess it's a little bit easier for people to not to speak because there's sort of an expectation that you watch it. But I think with music it is different because somebody will hear a song and after the first few seconds they'll be oh, I kind of okay, you sound and they start giving you feedback and I'm it's not over yet. There's some stuff. I mean, the other thing I find I've realized, I'm sure you've realized the same thing, is it's people who listen to your music, they don't hear it the way you do. Right. And they also, half the things that you've put into it, most people won't even notice, which is frustrating and also...
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's also can be a relief in that, you can be especially if you do a show and you made a huge mistake, but you realize, a lot of the audience probably had no idea.
Yeah. But also, just be ready for the criticism, too, because people will tell you straight up. And you could... you could appreciate, if you can appreciate that, I give you props, man, because it's nerve wracking. You know what I mean? People could be honest with you, but if it's truly genuine, I really feel like it could help you. But you know, it is nerve wracking for people to be like, yeah, you know, like that part was maybe a little off for some. Yeah. No, but it's actually good for you. I know I don't let that put me down. It just like innovates me to be able to change something better the next time, or to come out with a next one that's even, you know, just to improve yourself. And you know, so don't take that too personally.
Yep. Do you ever get? Because like most of the, obviously when you get feedback from people, it's people you know. But do you find like online, do you ever find comments on your stuff? Like you get people who you don't know, they can be a lot more honest or mean if they wanted to.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a just very straight up world right now. I haven't gotten too many like bad comments on the music or whatever. I had a couple people say like, "Oh, your cover was like demeaning," or like, you know, it's not a very nice cover to women or something like that. And I was like, okay, I respect that. Like, you know, if you know me, it ain't really about that at all. It's just like, I think I just have a very swaggy way of doing something, and it could come off as like, you know, he's cocky or he just says whatever he wants, but it ain't about that. I'm just like trying to like make an impression always, and I'm lost in the sauce because I'm just feeling myself as much as I can right now, you know. But I honestly think I'm just finding the most clever way to say like, "Oh, you look so fine," you know. And sometimes like that could like make people like, I don't know. People are just sensitive, and it's a very sensitive world right now. So you got to look out for that.
Yeah, and I guess you always have to, I mean, you're always going to, people will take things in different ways.
Yes.
So, yeah, you definitely have to, I think you almost just have to go into it with, look, this is what my intent is, this is what I was trying to say, and you won't really be able to control how other people are going to perceive it. You just sort of have to have faith in your own view of what it is.
Right, like you won't be able to please everybody. So you can't, it's impossible to please everybody. Just remember that, and like, if there is love there, then like follow the love, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean, the thing is, you not only will you not be able to please everybody, but there are going to always be people who just will disagree with it in some way.
Yeah, man. You know. Yeah, it's so easy to judge, man. Trust me. So.
That's how it goes. All right, let's. We're gonna do one more quick break, and then we'll be back to. We'll be back more with Kierscey.
Yeah.
So this last segment we've just been watching, or you've been watching and listening to. Oh, wait, I want to get the music going. Wait.
No problem.
There we go. This segment you've just been listening to is brought to you by Intercontinental Consulting Services for Immigration and Settlement in Canada. Find out how you can live, work, and study in Canada. Visit icscanadaimmigration.ca. Come to Canada. Immigrate, work, study, visit. Contact them today for a free assessment. And it was brought to you by Cecile's Line Dance Class, first established in 1998 for all ages, 3 times a week. You can have classes every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Beam TV, 361 Wilson Avenue, Toronto. Tuesdays from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at JC's Banquet, 1686 Ellesmere Road, Scarborough. And every Sunday from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. at the Filipino Center, 4395 Shepherd Avenue East. Call now at 647-215-3013. Cecile's Line Dance Class. Line dancing with a twist. And once again, if you would like to advertise with us, get in touch at radioshowad@gmail.com, and you can have ads read just as amazing as I just read them right now. So get in touch, everybody. But for now, we're back with Kierscey. So what else are you into besides music? What are the sort of things you like to do?
I haven't really thought about that too much, but actually, I guess
you're really busy. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Every time I get a chance, I really like to watch movies. I love scary movies for some reason. Yeah, I love scary movies for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just like it's fun to get scared. It's kind of a high itself, and it's one of those things where you can kind of forget the world right now because we're focused on not trying to jump out your seat, pretty much, you know?
Yeah. Just some escapism. And is there one you saw a little recently or one you recommend to people?
It's hard. That's the thing too. Is it's hard to recommend a good scary movie because to make it from top to bottom amazing is it's hard. It's like most scary movies today are on Rotten Tomatoes, like ranging within like 60 to like 75.
Yeah.
So man. But like one that I did like kind of recently, man. I seen Hereditary, and it was pretty crazy. And I also seen Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. I know I'm like late on these movies, but Jennifer Lawrence, Mother. I don't know if you'll think it's a good movie, but you will never forget it. That's for sure.
Well, have
you seen it?
I haven't. No.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, it's by Darren Aronofsky, the guy who did Darren Aronofsky did like Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan.
Yeah.
His newest one. Like, if you thought those were intense, like, you ain't ready for this one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like it must be getting harder to make scary movies because, like, it's like so much has been done.
Right.
We've all seen so many things. Like, I remember when Blair Witch Project came out.
Wow.
And that was, like, revolutionary, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's hard to come up with something new and a new way to scare people.
Probably the newest way is like the Paranormal Activity kind of thing, you know. I think that one freaked me out for a minute because it was scary for its silence, and I think that's hard to do with a scary movie. Is that like it's all the sounds or the music or like, you know, it's the sounds that like make you jump because it's like bang, you know, and they turn up the volume like at those parts. But that one, there wasn't like really too much of that. It was just ghetto camera, but in the silence it was so scary. And then when you're in your real life, all those silent moments are just so scary too. And like, it probably traumatized me a little bit the first time I saw it. But
did you see it in theaters or
I did see it in theaters. Yeah, it was freaky, man. People were freaking out.
The kind of movie you don't want to watch like by yourself in like a dark
man. But you know, the funny thing is that is my thing. I love like when I get a moment because a lot of my friends don't really like scary movies, so I do watch them by myself, like in the dark, and like get ready for it, you know. But it's good. I'm a lot braver now, and not as much scares me as much anymore. And I'm looking for that next thing that will be incredible.
Awesome. Did you ever see Human Centipede?
Oh yeah. I saw it. It's a different kind of scary.
It's not really scary. It's more
disturbing.
Yeah.
But I'm into that too. I'm into disturbing as well. It's some stuff well, hopefully in your life we'll never see.
Yeah, exactly. I hope most of us, hopefully not. Yeah. I remember I saw that one at the. You ever heard of the Toronto After Dark Film Festival?
Yes, I've heard of it. I've never been to it, but I've heard of it.
So I think it's every October. Anyway, they show like scary movies and like sci-fi movies. But I remember I saw Human Centipede in that setting, a festival setting, right, where he's like talking about people who haven't seen. I'm not even going to explain what Human Centipede is, but it's a pretty gross idea.
Yeah.
But it's But I remember when he's actually explaining what he's planning to do, like he's captured these people and he's going to turn them into this human centipede. Right. And he explains and he has that drawing on the wall. And when he said he was going to do it, the whole audience like cheered. And it was such a crazy atmosphere to like watch a movie like that.
For sure.
Everybody's grossed out, but because we're all grossed out together, the whole audience is like really enjoying it.
Yeah, man.
and then I remember I enjoyed it so much. I found out it was like playing for a week at another theater. Okay. And I brought like 3 of my cousins. I'm like, you guys have to see this movie. Like, it was so crazy. And then the movie ended, and the first thing they say to me, they look to me and they're like, why did you want us to watch that? I was like, it was cool.
Very common reaction for a lot of scary movies. But again, it's hard to find one top to bottom. I think even the Human Centipede, it's kind of a stupid idea, but like you can't not look away, man. You know what I mean? It's just you want to see. I don't know what's so sick about us to want to see it, but you know, you got to see it.
And actually, I never saw any of the sequels of that. I didn't see any. I heard they were even like they pushed it even further.
Dang.
Which I'm like, wow.
Okay.
Because one thing about Human Centipede, they didn't actually show that much, right? Like it wasn't a particularly gory movie. A lot of the stuff that I found made it gross to watch was what they implied was happening, but they didn't actually show everything. They showed enough, but which I kind of liked. It's kind of you know.
I think that's a good way of doing a scary movie. It's like to not show it in a way, and I don't know, man. Because sometimes when you see it, it isn't scary. You know
that's true. Yeah. Especially a lot of newer horror movies. It's like at the end, they show like, oh, at the end you see the monster and it's this big computer animated thing, and it's like, oh, now that I see it,
yeah,
scarier when I was imagining what it might be.
For
right?
sure, man. Like classic is like Jaws from back in the day. They didn't show the shark for like the first hour and a half, man.
Yeah.
And people are still terrified of the water. And
Yeah.
just the idea of it, like I think like apparently I heard on a documentary that sharks aren't even like that at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
they're a lot smarter than that than we give them credit for. But like just because of that one movie, that has changed the world's perception of what we think could happen in the water. But it's extremely unlikely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
They're not really monsters in that way. They don't they're not vindictive. They don't go after a particular.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
It scared me though. I remember I used to I would be swimming in like a public pool.
Yeah.
And somehow I would get the image of that movie in my head, and I would suddenly get nervous. I'm like, you're in a pool. Like there's.
Yeah.
But it's still just so there. I'm like, oh, I don't know what's down there. That's how it goes.
For sure.
Well, we're just about out of time here, actually.
Nice.
But why don't we? Where once again can people find you?
Right now, just on my IG, just go to @KIERSCEY @Kierscey. And I'm always posting shows I'm about to do. I'm supposed to go like New York next weekend for something.
Cool.
I'm supposed to be like playing maybe Miami with August Rigo in December. There's just things in the talks, but honestly, I usually don't know until like maybe a week before the gig.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah or not, So
Well, it's like you were saying, you just had to learn, what was it, 16 songs?
yeah, 16 songs on
few
Thursday.
days.
Played it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm impressed with myself for that. Yeah, man. I
That's
came on
awesome.
a good day. Honestly, I'm tired, but it was so worth it, man. To just be able to know that I can do that and that I am good enough to do something like that.
Awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So find him on Instagram and Skirt, spelled SKRT, right?
Yes, sir.
SKRT. Skirt on Spotify and other fine digital music retailers everywhere.
Yes.
So make sure you add it to your Spotify playlist. Get it now. And watch for his album, the full album coming out November 2nd, right?
Correct.
Awesome. And you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown, Dion Brown. Thank you guys, all of you so much who checked out my 1,000 subscriber special. We had a lot of fun filming that. And if you haven't checked it out, please go to my YouTube channel and check it out. We, me and 3 friends, actually, you'd know all of them. They're all Carter guys.
Don't lie.
All 4 of us, we rented... we bought some remote control cars, and we just filmed like a 1,000 meter race around a track. So it's pretty fun. It's a fun video. Find it on YouTube.
Yes.
And anyway, this was a lot of fun. Thank you. Thanks so much for coming, man. It was really
Thank
good.
you, man. It's good to
again.
catch up with you after all these years. And
So-
that was a very nice moment about the Coldplay song. I'm glad you told me that. Man.
It's just one of those things. I mean, it's funny how there are certain things about high school I have. It's all a blur. But then there's just these odd little memories that kind of just are always there.
Yeah.
And that's just one of them. I just remember being in the lobby. I don't remember anything else about it. I don't remember the date or like what, I don't even remember what grade it was. It was I just remember that one moment where I was sitting there playing Coldplay and you kind of came in next to me and just added the harmony.
That's awesome.
Just one of those things that that stays with you, I guess.
That's good. It'll be one of the better things because honestly, and I'll tell you right now, for anyone that knew me in high school, like, I'm glad that's just me from then because I think we all like are harder on our high school selves, but I'm totally different now. And I can see that you're making moves as well, and it's awesome, man.
Yeah, and people change a lot. I mean, that's the thing. I'm glad that social media wasn't isn't what it is now. There's, I don't know. I'm not sure what to think of. Like, I feel like there must be kids who are right now saying grade 9 and 10, and or even 7 and 8, younger, and they're posting like everything that's happening to them on Facebook, and
it's the craziest thing.
It's like, I mean, you might want to have that documented forever, but probably not actually.
You might be thinking something a few years down the line. So.
But I guess we'll see what that is because I actually don't even know what that's going to look like for those people. But we'll find out. We'll find out.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks again.
Thank you, bro.
And thank you all for watching. We will see you guys next week. Regine will be back and she'll be able to tell us all about her experience at the Canada Galaxy pageant. And bye, everybody. Bye.
That's it for today, folks. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. If you think 60 minutes is not enough, well, you better catch us again next week, because it is not just about music or pure talk. It's your weekend pastime. And witness the next worthy of your time episode of the program right here on Crosswave Radio. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.